The CCE is home to one of the largest and most diverse collections of species within the BC biome. Bros, hoes, and Eskimos, the CCE has it all. However, as the spring season wanes, some of the species are approaching maturity. They will soon leave the pack in the hands of the young that they have raised over the last 3 years. But let us have a last glimpse of them in their fullest magnificence.
Standing with perfect posture, the Caitlin Coman is a very unique species, as it has no normal behaviors. This particular Caitlin Coman has become the alpha of the committee. Although Caitlin Comans are usually adverse to hard work, preferring a redolent lifestyle, this one has managed to delegate work to her underlings, making her true workload deceptively light. This Caitlin Coman is also an extremely defensive creature. If called out on her numerous problems with alcohol, she will become extremely agitated and sound out her defensive cry, "I am not a drunk," or the equally cryptic, "On my birthday?" much to the amusement of other species. Many creatures will often stare into the pretty blue eyes of a wild Caitlin Coman. However, these creatures do not know that her hypnotic gaze gradually induces paralysis. Once the Caitlin has completely incapacitated the unsuspecting gazer, she devours it whole for sustenance. As her victim digests over the next 3 months, she will gradually gain back her petite figure, leaving none the wiser. Here we see a wild Alyssa Snell diligently working. Defending her young committee members, a full-grown Snell is capable of completing multiple tasks without displaying any signs of stress. She dutifully tends to the young cubs as they grow, nurturing them and showing them the ways of their habitat, preparing the youths for when they will rise up and take her place in the committee. However, despite their nurturing role in the pack, Alyssa Snells can be deadly. If cornered and harassed by obnoxious species, an Alyssa Snell will release a series of harsh insults, leaving the attackers dazed and emotionally scarred. The eating habits of an Alyssa Snell are a strict diet of blazing buffalo Doritos and bent folds, without which she would slowly atrophy. Most Alyssa Snells pride themselves on how super hot they are, reflecting their penchant for food with buffalo sauce. Next we observe a Nick Guarino on the prowl. Even in captivity, many Guarinos are rarely seen outside of their sweatpants. The Guarino of this pack attempts to assert his dominance with his loud cries and aggressive movements. He can be seen puffing out his chest to appear larger to other animals. The dominating characteristic is unique only to this Guarino. Most Guarinos are highly social animals and usually tolerant of others. This is mostly due to the Guido gene, a common characteristic of the species that enables them to grow large and dirty-looking mustaches. This Guarino also uses hand gestures in the attempt to offend any nearby competitors. However, he is most often seen in a state of ease, using his personalized computer to watch YouTube videos. In his spare time, he thoroughly researches female species with a crude tool committeeologists have labeled pornography. A wild Guarino can go without food or water for days on end if he can substitute it with white women. We now see a Sean Garvey. Hairy and sage-like, this creature is often seen in the wild dancing alone. The species is able to achieve such fascinating behavior because of a symbiotic relationship it shares with the giant headphones usually seen attached around the neck. Sean Garveys are also known for their complete reliance on particular herbal supplements to survive. Without it, regular food and water would not be enough. A Sean Garvey is known to smoke 3 to 4 times its own weight within a single sitting. However, afterwards the species is often reduced to a sloth-like state, in which even the slightest movements is a challenge. Only the lure of a bedding machine, a rich source of nutrients in the local climate, can stimulate movement. His small frame often allows him to escape from much larger predators, such as police officers. If pursued by the popo, Sean Garveys have been recorded as being able to escape at speeds of over 40 miles per hour on the open plains. The reclusive rheabills is one of the most captivating creatures of the committee. Although she may appear to be in the early stages of life, this rhea is actually a fully grown adult. She is able to imitate the habits of younger species so well that larger predators dismiss her for a small child. Although it is unclear if the rheabills chooses these habits as a defensive mechanism or to be nurtured by the older species in the club, the rhea remains a very goal-oriented creature. A rheabills will take up to 4 months to complete a thesis paper. During this time, she is rarely seen interacting with the outside world. Although most species note her absence and look for opportunities to interact with her, confrontation during this time period can be deadly. Fortunately for the committee, this particular strain of thesis writing has finally passed, and the rheabills is once again re-entering her usual habitats. The change in the season can only mean one thing for the herd. The mating period has begun. Skippy and Jason, although seemingly different species, share very similar qualities. The mating rituals between a wild Jason and Skippy are a larger part of a crossbreeding unique only to these two animals. They are also the only natural species that mate homosexually. The mating ritual begins as the two approach each other. Eye contact is made, and an elaborate dance of head movements begin. The ritual is over for now, and the Skippy has not been successful. The courtship may go on for several days, however, the Skippy has grown wary. Other male competitors have also picked up on the pheromones being released by Jason. Although the likelihood of this male being accepted by the Jason is minimal, the young Skippy nevertheless goes through periods of severe distress. After a long and complicated process, the Skippy has finally managed to win over his mate. The mating season ends, only to return again when calendar has come full circle.